Hi, I'm Michael Warburton.
I'm Garrett Loam,
I'm Jade Chetterly.
and today we're going to talk to you about we're with the Chinook FFA, and today we're going to talk to you guys about about what we did for the food science competition for the John Deere Ag Expo.
So some of the hazards that we had presented to us right away when we first started this competition was obviously we had to have safety was a big priority for us, not only our safety but the safety of the consumer as well. So we had to make sure that we were careful around the oven. It was hot, so we wore oven mitts when we were taking things out, and we made sure we let the pan cool down a little before we were handling it with just our hands and grabbing the cookies and things like that, and taste testing obviously. And then we wore an apron so we didn't get food on us, and then so we didn't get food off or something off our clothes into the food. And then the counters were all bleached down and they were clean because we actually used the school's kitchen, which is a much more controlled environment than our houses, because some of us have pets and things like that. Might be things that would be exposed to that area rather than in the school where it feels like might be a little safer.
So in our process for making the cookies, so we creamed together the butter and the sugars and the vanilla. From there, you beat in one egg at a time, and then in a separate bowl you mix together the flour and the baking soda and the salt, and then slowly into the butter mixture you mix the dry ingredients, the flour mixture, into the butter mixture until it's just combined. You don't want to mix it too much, otherwise the gluten develops too much and you make your cookies tough. But then once the flour mixture is all mixed in, you add your chocolate chips.
How we made our cookies 3 inches round is we used foil, and in the foil we put 1.5 inches of a scoop so that it filled it so it was perfectly 3 inches round.
So where we're going to sell these, they wanted us to make a 3-inch cookie because they wanted to sell it along with their milk. And so for us, as an eye catcher for these cookies, made an American flag logo with the chocolate Chump cookies. What we had to do for making the logos, we had to make sure that the images that we used were free to use for commercial use and edit, so that way we wouldn't have to worry about copyright infringement. And so we made sure that all the images that we used in our label were all free to use for commercial use.
So we decided to use the American flag, and we said chocolate chunk cookies because in recent election people have been people had mixed feelings about it, and we feel like it was just kind of a funny play on words, and our motto for the cookies is "Make cookies great again." And so we put the American flag on there, and we feel like it would be a kind of a catchy label, and it would be a label that people would look at and then they would retain. It would be something that would be kind of funny, so they would look at it a little closer, or maybe they didn't like Trump, maybe they liked Hillary, it doesn't really matter. I think that either way, they'll just think that it's kind of a funny play on words, and I think that they would enjoy the label, and I think that they would be drawn to it and perhaps maybe take a little bit longer of a look rather than just kind of a more bland label for cookies.
So cookies can't really be made without agriculture, so there's the wheat farms, which produces your flour, and then there's the chickens, which produce your eggs, the dairy farms, which produce your butter, and the vanilla bean for your vanilla in the tropical places, and then there's your sugar cane for your sugar that you use in your cookies. And so you pretty much, if you think about it, you can't really make cookies without agriculture at all.
And really, that ties back into our label, how you can't make the cookies without agriculture, but America wouldn't have been here without agriculture either. Agriculture is a big part of America, and we thought that maybe the American flag and the cookies are just, all Americans like cookies, and most Americans like America. And so it's one of those things, it's an eye catcher, it clues into your patriotism, and it's just more makes you feel good.